Hey there, everybody. It's George from DinosaurGeorge.com answering all of your amazing questions. Okay, let's get into it. Mohammed from Tigard, Oregon. Mohammed, it's nice to hear from you again. He says, hey, DG, happy birthday to you. Well, thank you, buddy. I'm glad you remembered. My birthday was on the 18th of December, a couple of days ago, so thank you for the greeting. He says, okay, you've got two predators, Deinonychus and Smilodon. Both are 5 feet tall by 12 feet long. One has a sharp curved foot claw, the other has two serrated canines. So who would win in a fight, Deinonychus or Smilodon? Wow. Well, again, you clearly know that these two animals didn't live together at the same time, but that's irrelevant for this. Here's the deal. Deinonychus, pretty agile, pretty advanced critter. The problem is Smilodon is much more intelligent, has a mammalian brain. That's very helpful when it comes to strategy. So Deinonychus would have been out of his league when it comes to outthinking his opponent. But of course, Deinonychus is equipped with some pretty wicked claws. Wow. Well, if Deinonychus could get on the back of Smilodon would pretty much be over with. But man, if Smilodon got a hold of Deinonychus, it would be curtains pretty quickly for Deinonychus. Man, this would be a pretty wicked battle when you think about it. Man, I got to tell you, it's coin toss in my opinion. I don't know who would win. He had a second question. It says, and could Parasaurolophus have a feathered zebra-like mane from its crest to its neck? Well, certainly that's possible. The more we find new discoveries, the more we're coming to the realization that a lot of dinosaurs may have had feather-like appendages covering its body, or at least partially covering its body. So it would not be a stretch by any means to think that these animals may have had maybe a flap of skin or maybe a mane that is similar to a giraffe, for instance. It's certainly possible. There's no evidence to support it, but it's certainly possible. Okay, Martin from Chicago, Illinois. Hello, DG. Me again. Nice to hear from you, Martin. What is your thoughts about Pachycephalosaurus and Stygimoloch and Dracorex being the same dinosaur as what Jack Horner says? Well, Martin, I respect Dr. Horner considerably. I really like a lot of work he does. And he's somebody, what I like about Dr. Horner is that he's not in this mode of feeling obligated to perpetuate whatever the last guy said. So many young people that are joining paleontology, it's like they only want to parrot exactly what they've heard because they're terrified of stepping out of the confines of this little club that some people in paleontology believe there is. They believe that if you go against their opinions, then you're not in the club, and so they're terrified. One person says one thing and they all join in and agree. What I like about Dr. Horner is he's not like that. Dr. Horner looks at things and he doesn't care what the consequences are of his opinions if he feels strongly about them. But I don't agree with him on this, and I'll tell you why. I've seen Pachycephalosaurus, I've seen Stygimoloch, and I've had the chance to actually be in the room when we CAT scanned Dracorex. I'll tell you something, these dinosaurs are so distinctly different between each other that I do not believe for the slightest moment that they represent different stages of growth. There are very few animals on this earth that change that dramatically over time. Certainly if you look at an infant flounder, the fish, they don't look anything like the adults, but that's a one-time dramatic change. But if you look at deer, if you look at cows, if you look at horses and pigs and antelope and goats and lizards and snakes and crocodiles and birds and bats and mosquitoes and cockroaches, they don't dramatically morph in between stages of growth. They just continue to grow, but their changes still, their basic design looks the same. So in this particular case, I disagree with Dr. Horner, although I respect him greatly. Okay, Michael from Newtown, Connecticut. Dear Dinosaur George, it's me, that Michael from Newtown again. Well, Michael, it's good to hear from you. Anyway, here's my questions. Actually, a question and an interesting discovery. Anyway, the question, who do you think would win in a fight between Basilosaurus and Mosasaurus? Note, Basilosaurus and Mosasaurus are two of my favorite prehistoric sea monsters next to Deinosuchus and that odd T-Rex specimen that they found with a big jaw, a big hole in its lower jaw. If you look at Basilosaurus and Mosasaurus, they're pretty similar. Basilosaurus growing a little bit bigger than some of the bigger mosasaurs. Again, these animals don't live together at the same time, but that's irrelevant for this. I don't know. They both need to go up for air. They both have a similar body design. Wow. If they were of equal size, I think mosasaurs might be a little more maneuverable, considering their body design. Maybe mosasaurs would have an advantage, I guess. But he also commented about this new discovery of this T-Rex that they found, where it had a disease that is similar to what birds have. And so he's asking whether or not there could have been a huge disease that caused the extinction of the dinosaurs. You know, disease is certainly a plausible reason for the extinction of dinosaurs. I tell you something I've often pondered in this. I could be wrong, but what if pterosaurs were carriers of a disease that they had an immunity to, but dinosaurs didn't? It would not be a stretch to think that pterosaurs would land on the backs of dinosaurs and probably crawl all over them, picking off parasites. And that means sticking their mouth into wounds sometimes and cleaning it out. It wouldn't be a stretch, I don't think, but how cool would it be to think that the plight of dinosaurs was held in the hand of pterosaurs? Because pterosaurs would, of course, have the ability to traverse the entire planet. So dinosaurs that are on an island separated from everybody else would not be immune to this disease because, in theory, pterosaurs could have carried it with them. Now, there is absolutely no evidence whatsoever to support that. I've not done any real research on it, and I've never proposed the idea to some of the people that I know, but it's just something to think about. It's kind of cool. Okay, Ludwig from, wow, Reykjavik, Iceland? Man. Ludwig, write to me and tell me if I got your city correct. I apologize if I mispronounced the name, but it looks like Reykjavik? I don't know, my friend. But anyway, I hope I got it right. He said, hey, Dinosaur George, happy birthday and Merry Christmas. Thank you, buddy. Same to you and your family. Okay, I was watching the show last night. I forgot the name, and I heard someone say that T-Rex had feathers like raptors. Is it true that T-Rex had feathers? Ludwig, when I was up in South Dakota at the Black Hills Institute of Geological Research, Pete Larson, a friend of mine, was showing us some evidence that could suggest that Tyrannosaurus may have had feather-like appendages. They found it on a specimen of Tyrannosaur. I think the specimen was Y-Rex. I think that's the one. Anyway, there is a possibility that Tyrannosaurs had feather-like appendages. I don't believe they were feathered completely like a bird, but I would not be surprised if they didn't have feathers maybe on the back of their neck, maybe on their arms, maybe on their tail. These feathers would have been used more for display rather than used for body insulation. But I do think it's possible. To what extent, I don't know. But that's a cool question. All right, finally, Louis from Portugal. Hi, Dinosaur George. I hope you're doing well. I am, and Louis, I hope you and your family are doing well as well. My favorite dinosaurs are T-Rex, Allosaurus, and Giganotosaurus. So my question is, what are your 3 most favorite dinosaurs and why? He says, take care. P.S. I really love dinosaurs. They're awesome. Louis, I could not agree with you more, brother. I really like dinosaurs too. Okay, in order of my favorites, it is Allosaurus, it is Deinonychus, and it is Utah Raptor. Those are my top 3. The reason why, I just think those dinosaurs are wickedly cool. It's hard to explain. I just love them. I like the fact that they were more advanced, pretty smart, pretty deadly critters, and I'm a guy, I just get into that stuff. All right, everybody, that's it for this one. If you have a question, go to my website, dinosaurgeorge.com. Click on the Ask Dinosaur George page. Submit the form to me, and try to keep your questions kind of short. Some of the questions I get are incredibly long, and honestly, I can't even read them when I open it up and it's a full page worth. I just don't have the time, and I've got so many of these to answer. So there's my advice to you. Take care, everybody, and I will see you all again soon.